This is News 8 Now, this morning.
I will work together on a budget provision that will send a total of up to 20% of the state's sales tax revenue back to our local communities for shared revenue.
The 988 hotline was launched last summer. In fact, I think since it was launched in July of last year, there's been over 1.7 million calls made to that line.
There's so many shortages across our state, across our country, but our rural areas are really struggling. When we look at some of our retirement homes, our assisted care facilities, and then you can go into your clinics and your hospitals. Everybody is short, everyone needs help.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for watching News 8 Now. I'm Dua Sfard, that's Derek Sibley. It's Wednesday, January 25th. Thank you for waking up alongside us. Derek, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Dua. Just watching some snow behind me. How about yourself?
Same. I walked out and I had to wipe some little dusting of snow. It wasn't too bad, but can we expect more?
Yeah, we can definitely expect some more here today as well. We'll get to that in just a bit. But for now, here over the last 6 hours, we've been tracking some snow showers here, especially overnight across portions of the viewing area, mainly from around Clark County southward into Jackson County is where most of that snow here is currently ongoing, even to portions of western La Crosse County as well, looking at some of that light snow. We're also watching another batch of snow here, of light snow that is here in Houston County, southward here into Alameda County, into portions of northeastern Iowa. So let's talk about those current conditions elsewhere right now. Otherwise, cloudy skies, temperatures at 29 in both Eau Claire and La Crosse. We're seeing 30 degrees, though, currently in Winona, with temperatures today expected to be pretty mild into the low to mid 30s this afternoon. And yeah, we are expecting more chances of seeing some scattered snow showers here moving around across the Coulee region here today as well, under those mild conditions, along with the winds turning out of the northerly direction by the time we reach around midday today, and then continue through much of the afternoon, and also as we head into the early evening here hours as well. But coming up in just a bit, we'll take a look at that full weather forecast and let you know if we could be looking at some more snow chances on the way. Dua?
All right, thanks, Derek. We'll check back in with you later. All right, following an armed robbery in Chippewa Falls early Saturday morning, 3 people are now in custody. Just after midnight, a woman called police saying several people broke in through her door. Police believe Jeremiah Mackey broke down the door and Elijah Johnson used a handgun to hit both of the people living in the apartment. Items were taken from the apartment before the two fled the scene. Eau Claire County Sheriff's deputies found Johnson and arrested him later on Saturday. Mackey turned himself in on Monday. The driver of the car that the two allegedly drove away in, 19-year-old Rachel Hahn, was also arrested. Police say this was not random and everyone involved in this incident knows each other. In January alone, 9 people have died from overdoses in La Crosse. News 8 Now's Anna Fisher has more on how this increase is leading to conversations on both the state and federal level.
In light of recent reports of an increase in drug overdoses, Gunderson Health System, Gunderson Tri-State Ambulance, and the La Crosse Police Department gathered today to hold a press conference to discuss what action will be taken going forward. Nearly a quarter of last year's total drug overdoses have occurred within the last 4 weeks. Gunderson health expert Dr. Chris Eberlein believes fentanyl is being laced with another dangerous unknown drug.
There may be something intermixed with it that is some sort of sedative that would make this less effective to our usual treatments.
When it comes to responding to overdoses, Assistant Chief of the La Crosse PD wants to destigmatize the role of police.
Our frontline staff understand Good Samaritan laws. For those that are calling, for the individual that is suffering from the overdose, the least they need to worry about is us actually taking some level of enforcement action.
Senator Tammy Baldwin says the pandemic led to an increase in overdoses and drug use. She's been working on the national level to increase mental health services and get funding for the National Crisis Hotline.
The 988 hotline was launched last summer. In fact, I think since it was launched in July of last year, there's been over 1.7 million calls made to that line. And this allows us to also localize the services people can get, so that, if you're in Wisconsin, that you're going to have a resource that is local.
Reporting in La Crosse, I'm Anna Fisher, News 8 Now.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, there are local resources. You can find fentanyl test strips at the Cooley Recovery Center near downtown La Crosse and Vivint Health on the city's north side. For more information on local resources, call 211. We'll also have those posted on our website at news8000.com. There's a new mental health resource for Hmong Wisconsinites. Hmong community members can use the Hmong Mental Health Warm Line to speak with other Hmong peers. The line is open through Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and the free of service is available thanks to the Wisconsin United Coalition of Mutual Assistance Association. If you're in need of help, you can call the number on your screen. La Crosse police are asking the public for help in finding a missing woman. Jennifer Peterson was last seen in La Crosse on September 27. She is 5'5" with dyed blonde hair and glasses. Police are not sure what she was wearing when she went missing. Peterson has a history of relocating to different areas in Wisconsin and the country. So if you have any information about Peterson's location, you can call the La Crosse PD at the number at the top of your screen. The man charged with imprisoning a woman in her La Crosse home has his bail reduced. His bond was reduced from $10,000 cash to a $10,000 signature bond. Last week, Cole J. Clark was charged in La Crosse County with felony kidnapping, felony imprisonment, intimidating a victim by use of force, and bail jumping. He will be on house arrest in Lancaster. Judge Todd Berkey ordered Clark to stay out of La Crosse County while under house arrest, saying the court would take any violations of his bond very seriously.
So any violations of bond, if I change it to a signature bond, would be taken very dimly by the court, and you'd be lucky if it's $10,000 cash again, right?
Understood, yes.
A date for Clark's preliminary hearing has not been set as prosecutors continue their investigation. The University of Wisconsin system officials say they will restrict the use of TikTok on system devices. According to the Associated Press, UW system spokesman Mark Pitsch revealed the move in an email with the publication. Pitsch did not explain how the UW system would go about the restrictions. Earlier this month, Governor Tony Evers banned the use of TikTok on Wisconsin state phones and other devices, saying the app presented a risk to privacy, safety, and security. Other political officials have expressed concerns that the Chinese company could seize American data. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is calling for common ground on issues like public education, funding for local governments, and mental health services. On Tuesday night, Evers' fifth State of the State address from the state capitol resembled more of a mini-budget outline. Evers said Wisconsin is in the best fiscal position it's been in its 175-year history, implying to the state's projected $6.5 billion surplus. He spoke a lot on the investment in mental health services and says he plans to invest almost $300 million to permanently fund a program providing K-12 mental health services. Another major plan centers on funding local government.
We'll work together on a budget provision that will send a total of up to 20% of the state's sales tax revenue back to our local communities for shared revenue.
Democratic colleague Senator Brad Pfaff says Evers' address and last week's bipartisan constitutional amendment on bail reform means the partisan fever is beginning to crack. He adds that by focusing on topics that affect everyone, Evers is sending out an olive branch to his GOP counterparts.
He put aside any, very divisive issues, and he talked about issues like tax reform, economic development, investing in our small businesses, child care deserts, clean water. These are bipartisan, common sense issues. Regardless if you're in a rural area or an urban area, you hear the needs to address.
Meanwhile, GOP Senator Patrick Testin from the 24th District believes his party will continue to have productive conversations on education, tax reform, and more, but neither side of the aisle will get everything they want.
The governor laid out in his speech tonight a very expensive agenda that we have to be very mindful of with state dollars, where, again, it may not be everything that he wants, because I'm a firm believer you can't eat an apple in one bite, but we can take steps to move the state in the right direction and address some of these issues.
Governor Evers will deliver his official budget address on February 15th. Western Technical College is celebrating the opening of a new facility.
Open it up. Let's open it up. All right. Come on in.
This is the college's new Toma Medical Assistant classroom, and that space was remodeled to create additional space for the school's new medical assistant program. Western's leaders say having a class space in Monroe County will reduce the need for transportation so people in rural areas won't have to travel to La Crosse for classes. Rural parts of Wisconsin are also in need of additional healthcare workers.
There's so many shortages across our state, across our country, but our rural areas are really struggling. When we look at some of our retirement homes, our assisted care facilities, and then you can go into your clinics and your hospitals, everybody is short, everyone needs help.
Stanford says the program can support 18 to 22 students, and it only takes 1 year to complete. The president says students who finish can step right into a job that pays more than $22 an hour. Well, still ahead on your morning news, the new step Amazon is taking to help members get the medication they need. We'll explain. And why paying attention to your internet bill could actually save you some extra cash. That's all coming up after the break. But for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Oreo's newest limited edition cookie is stuffed with itself. The company calls this the most Oreo Oreo. It's got the usual chocolate wafers on the outside and a cookies and cream mix inside. A QR code on the package also lets customers into a metaverse experience the company created. The most Oreo Oreos will be available in stores next Monday. The suggested retail price for the pack of the cookies is about $5. Well, don't go anywhere. More News 8 Now this morning after the break.
Well, we continue to track some of that snowy weather across the Coulee region. These are mainly focused, though, here to our north and east from Clark County southward into Jackson County. Areas such as Mentor and Black River Falls now, and also southern Trempealeau looking at some of that light snow. Meanwhile, to the south, we're also watching some light snow here in Houston County southward into Immokalee County here as well this morning. With current temperatures as you head out the door, mainly into the upper 20s, some of us into the low 30s like Winona now. Let's take a look now at your zone forecast. La Crosse County today, we're going to be warming up on the mild side with highs into the low 30s here come this afternoon. Now, as we head further south, we'll be looking at highs reaching 30 in Viroqua today and 31 in Lafarge. Meanwhile, across our central zones, we are looking at highs roughly around that freezing mark here too, with Melrose at 32. In Eau Claire, you're looking at highs around 32 as well today too. So let's take a look now at your schoolcast for the morning hours, watching out for some of that snow here at the bus stop. 30 degrees with some light snow by the lunch hour, and then again this afternoon, a few snowflakes possible with temperatures at around 36 degrees. We'll talk about your full weather forecast still to come next in weather.
Walmart is giving some of its U.S. hourly workers a raise. The company announced Tuesday it was increasing minimum wage employees' pay from $12 to $14 an hour. Walmart says this would bring the average hourly wage up to more than $17.50 an hour. The new pay will start next month. In addition, the retail giant is adding new college degrees to its Live Better You education program. Both part-time and full-time associates can participate for free tuition. Amazon is expanding its push into healthcare with a $5 per month unlimited generic prescription drug delivery service. The plan is called RX Pass. It includes 60 generic prescription drugs that treat various common conditions like allergies, inflammation, and high blood pressure. Amazon says the delivery service will launch immediately in most states, except states with specific prescription delivery requirements like California, Texas, and right across the border, Minnesota. You don't have to have insurance to get RX Pass, but you do have to have Amazon Prime, and that costs about $139 a year. Well, prices at the pump are inching up once again as demand for gas rises. According to AAA, the national average price of gas is $3.42 a gallon, a 12-cent increase since last week. Wisconsin averages are at $3.25 a gallon. Milder weather could have something to do with higher prices as more Americans are getting out and about after severe winter weather over the holidays and into the new year. High fees, practically no interest on your savings, poor customer service. Do any of these sound like your bank? If so, Consumer Reports says it might be time to break up with them.
You might not think about shopping around to get the most bang for your buck from your bank, but it might be worth your time. And there are more options than ever. From the traditional brick and mortar branch to credit unions to online-only banks, which have no branches at all.
Each type of bank has its own positives and negatives, so it's important to figure out what's most important to you when you're looking for a bank. You might even find that it makes sense to bank at more than one place at a time.
If in-person customer service is important to you, then a brick and mortar bank is your best bet. But even then, it pays to shop around.
I would recommend that you pay a visit to any bank that you're considering becoming part of to make sure that it has everything you need, that the hours make sense for your life, and that the staffing is really up to snuff.
Looking for the best savings rates? Get online and shop around. Sites like Bankrate.com and NerdWallet can help. With a quick search, CR found nearly a dozen banks paying 3% or better. And before you jump at that promotion for a free checking account or high-interest savings account, be sure to read the fine print.
A supposedly free checking account isn't really a bargain if it hits you with huge fees if you overdraft by a few dollars or something like that.
Changing banks requires some planning. Be sure to open the new account before closing your existing one. If you use direct deposit, be sure to change it to the new account, as well as any automatic bill payments. And lastly, transfer any remaining money and close that old account. This is David Fazekas.
Well, this morning we continue to watch some of the snow showers come down across the area. These are mainly focused, though, to our north and east, from around Clark County southward into Jackson County, into the Black River Falls area, and also portions of southern Trempealeau County, too, looking at some of that light snow. Meanwhile, even further south, we're watching Houston County around the Spring Grove area, and also into Alameda County across portions of northeastern Iowa here, too, watching out for some of that light snow. Meanwhile, we do have more snow in the forecast in the day planner, as you can see, with temperatures in the low 30s. In general throughout the day. Now, the reason why we're tracking snow is because we have a low pressure system to the south, also a cold front, very slow moving cold frontal boundary here to our north, and these two systems are going to allow for some snow showers to continue through at least pretty much throughout the rest of the day. There could be a few leftover snow showers here on the back side of these systems as they continue to move through, but it does look like by the time we reach around midday tomorrow that a lot of this will come to a close as a ridge of high pressure begins to take shape just off to the west of us to allow us to see some drier conditions. But in the meantime, we're also going to be watching this next system. It's an Alberta Clipper system, which is expected to give us our next best chance of snow come later this week. But let's time it out here a little bit locally closer to home, and you can see those scattered snow showers continuing through at least the 9 o'clock hour this morning. As we reach the afternoon around 3 o'clock, still looking at some snow mainly positioned to our west, and we'll time it out further by around 8 o'clock this evening. A lot of that snow here mainly off to the west, but still can't rule out a couple of isolated snow showers back to the east. By the time we reach overnight tonight, around 2 a.m., a lot of this is going to come to a close as it continues to track its way towards the east and southeast, and then it's pretty much long gone by the time 8 o'clock tomorrow morning rolls around. Maybe a snow flurry or two, but overall we'll call it mainly cloudy, and those cloudy weather conditions are expected to continue throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. As of right now, locally in La Crosse, it's cloudy, temperatures at 29 degrees. Further north to in Eau Claire, you can see some of that snow still on the ground. 29 degrees is your current temperature with cloudy skies, and the visibility here this morning at around 6 miles. Meanwhile, in the meantime, current temperatures across the rest of the area mainly into those upper 20s to low 30s here this morning, with our forecast highs today expected to be mainly into those low 30s all across the Coulee region today. But there are some changes on the way. We'll explain. As we look at that 8-day forecast, you can see we are going to be looking at some more snow here for Friday and Saturday. But as you can see, by the time we reach this weekend, look at those high temperatures dropping into the teens, and the same can be said as we head into next week, with lows dropping below 0 by this weekend and also into next week as well. So very cold, chilly air will begin to move in from the north in the next several days. But stay tuned, though. We're back with much more news and weather. That's still to come here on News 8 Now this morning. For now, though, we are sending it a break with a look at what happened on this day in history for January 25th. We'll be right back. Well, this morning we continue to watch some of the snow come down. In fact, you can see some of that here from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse as we continue to watch the snow come down in other spots here as well across the Cooley region, from Clark County down south into Jackson County, even portions of southeast Minnesota and northeast Iowa right now getting some snow shower activity. In the meantime, heading out the door, our temperatures stand into those mid to upper 20s, and our highs today should reach the low 30s with some snow showers out there for you and your furry friend this morning. We'll continue to watch that snow for this afternoon and also into this evening here for you on those afternoon and evening walks. Stay tuned, though. We'll have a check on that commute forecast. We'll talk about the roads next in weather.
Welcome to the Blitz. Conference play continuing on the hardwood Tuesday night. Both Aquinas and Central coming off of tough losses in the MVC last week. These two rivals going head to head, hoping to get back on track. Jam-packed gym at Aquinas High School for the Blue Golds, and Riverhawks will pick this one up in the second half. Central up 9, but the Blue Golds battling back. Walter Burns in the corner knocks down the 3. Aquinas within 6 and getting closer later in the half. Blue Golds not backing down. Burns again, this time scooping and scoring for 2 more. It's 33-31. But the Riverhawks respond. Boston Brindley cuts it off. He's going to take it all the way. Football, basketball, Brindley does it all. Central back up 6. And the Riverhawks pulling away late. This time it's Henry Meyer picking the pocket, rocking the rim. Central gets a big conference win over rival Aquinas, 42-31. Let's stay in the MVC. TJ Stutley and the Hilltoppers at home, hosting rival Holman. First half action. Vikings coming to play. Peyton Seecamp going to splash home the 3. Then it's Caden Wilbur's turn, pulling up from Steph Curry range. You bet. Holman within 2. Then check this sequence out. Reed Tengblad with the block. Vikings on the break. Outlet pass to Wilbur for the score. Holman hanging tough. And then it's Wilbur finding Drew Tengblad in the corner for 3. Absolute money. Vikings jump ahead by 1, but here come the Hilltoppers. Still in the first half, Adam Skipton cutting to the hole, hitting the short runner. Onalaska back on top. And then it's Evan Anderson going to work. Give me that. The junior throws it down. Hilltoppers go up 3. And Anderson was just getting started later in the half, spinning and winning for 2 more. A game high 32 on the night. Hilltoppers pull away 75-57. 2 of the Scenic Bluffs Conference's best clashing as Royal travels to Cashton. First half, Eagles flying from the opening tip. Brett Hemmersbach drives into the lane, pulls up for the 8-foot jumper. That's part of a 21-4 run to open the game for Cashton. Royal looking to fight their way back into it from in front of the Cashton bench. Royals Gabe Keenan good for 3. Panthers slowly chipping away at the lead to the second half. Panthers Tyrus Wilds gathers the loose ball, goes the length of the floor for the lay-in. Royal now only down 5, but Cashton would not let them get closer. Connor Butzler driving by defenders on his way to the hoop, collects 2 of his game high 22. Cashton goes on to win it 47-37. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, daily migrant encounters are down at the U.S.-Mexico border. A Homeland Security official says they've dropped by more than half in January compared to last month. In December, the crossings averaged about 7,000 a day. That was ahead of the anticipated end of the Title 42 immigration restriction. But the Supreme Court has put a temporary hold on its termination. Earlier this month, President Biden met with Mexico's president to discuss immigration and the issues at the border. Well, according to UNICEF, the number of children in Africa are facing deadly conditions has doubled in the last 5 months. 20 million children in places like Ethiopia and Somalia are experiencing the horrors of famine. Recent reports describe toddlers with advanced forms of protein deficiency. Many of these children can't grasp the causes for their suffering, conflict, or economic instability. Organizations like UNICEF are working as quickly to save as many lives as they can. The Department of Justice is investigating Abbott Laboratories' infant formula plant in Sturgis, Michigan. Abbott says it plans to fully cooperate with the probe. The plant was shut down for months last year after an FDA inspection found a bacteria deadly to infants in several areas. Similac and other powdered infant formulas made at the plant were recalled, creating another hurdle for families struggling to get baby formula following supply chain issues. Well, dog owners in one Michigan community say someone's out to hurt their pets. Residents say they found marshmallows stuffed with nails placed on their front lawns. As Alex Boyarzian reports, police are working hard to solve this sticky and dangerous case.
Show me actually where Lucy found the marshmallow.
This was, she was right here on this corner. It's one of her favorite sniffing spots.
Lucky for Lucy, she didn't put the marshmallow in her mouth. Dawn Smith says her husband spotted it on the ground and was horrified to find out there were nails inside.
My husband called the police, and the police came to our house and they said that it wasn't their jurisdiction, that it was the jurisdiction of the DNR. And they said thank you. That was it.
Lucy's discovery was reported to police in May of last year. She lives on Hunter's Whip Lane. According to Farmington Hills Police, 3 more pet owners came forward after finding marshmallows like this stuffed with nails or hooks.
I haven't seen this before.
Farmington Hills Police Chief Jeff King says this is happening in a very concentrated area.
To the distance of approximately 5 to 6 homes in this area, 14 Mile in Farmington.
No animals have been hurt, but Erica Hatcher says her dog Diesel had a close call. He actually put the marshmallow in his mouth.
Those nails going through your intestines would definitely kill you. A child or a dog.
What do you think would be the motivation for someone doing something like this?
My personal belief is that someone's mad that people are letting their dogs go to the bathroom on their yard.
Whatever the motivation is, neighbors and Chief King have a message for the person responsible.
This is some silly prank. Stop.
Get some help, because this is not a good choice.
Please stop. My dog literally could be dead right now. He would not be walking on this earth because I would not have known what he ate.
Police sent the marshmallows in for testing. The person responsible could face criminal charges. Well, after nearly 5 hours of debating, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a bill on Tuesday allowing taxpayer money to go towards private schools. As Kayla James reports, this could benefit many families in Iowa.
This will just open that up so that they can have the same opportunities as everyone else.
Whether excited for the school choice plan?
In a perfect world, I would love to see our public schools continue to get an increase in funding.
Or concerned about the future of public schools, many Iowa families are looking ahead at the impact the law could have.
I told her on the way down here this morning, I said, this is going to change our life, not in a huge way.
For single mother Sherry Smith and her daughter Carly, who goes to a private school, the education savings account is a game changer.
It's tough. I'm struggling with my bills. Groceries are going up, everything's going up.
The mother-daughter duo says private schools are in a better position and can help students who need more.
The class sizes are a lot smaller, so they can pay more attention to each student individually.
And when it comes to diversity,
we also have IEP students coming in from public schools.
Carly says private schools are more diverse than people think. But then there are many Iowans who have concerns.
And I worry that by opening private and charter schools, that we are going to pick and choose the select few that can go into these schools.
Brooke Johnson has children in public schools, a system she loves dearly. It was her hope that public schools would see an increase in funding to help teachers.
Incentivize them to stay in Iowa and teach and invest in, mental health.
Johnson says what's done is done now, but it would have been nice if the bill wasn't fast-tracked. And if in the future, anything involving children in schools would be a bipartisan approach because it involves young Iowans.
I don't want any of them to experience, hardships or the feeling of not being included.
The plan would cost the state more than $340 million annually. And while Republicans argue the plan will empower parents to send their kids to whatever school provides the best educational opportunity to fit their unique needs, Democrats say the bill lacks fiscal responsibility, transparency, and accountability. Well, in Minnesota on Tuesday, Governor Tim Walz revealed his vision for how the state could invest your taxpayer money. And that includes how much he wants Minnesotans to get back in their pockets. Caroline Cummings reports on the plan from the governor, who is facing more favorable political odds than ever before.
A budget is a fiscal document. It is also a moral document.
Governor Tim Walz on Tuesday dove into the details of his budget blueprint for the next 2 years, a $65 billion plan that includes record investments in K-12 education and money for affordable housing, mental health, public safety in local communities, and so much more. There's even line items to get legalized marijuana off the ground.
I'm excited about this budget. I'm proud of Minnesotans. Again, I think it builds on a long tradition of progressive taxation and investments in things that matter.
A big focus, a tax package the administration calls historic, including tax credits to help families afford childcare, making more but not all Social Security income tax-free, and those so-called Walz checks or one-time direct payments.
People can make good decisions for themselves, and a portion of this surplus needs to get back into their hands.
But the scope of that proposal has changed. Governor Walz slashing income limits of who qualifies. Under this plan, you'd get $1,000 if you make $75,000 or less as a single filer, and $2,000 for a family making $150,000 or less, plus more if you have kids.
Huge government growth in agencies, huge government growth in taxation. This is a very, very concerning budget.
Republicans, though powerless in the minority to really stop the DFL agenda, quickly criticized the governor's proposal, especially in light of that $17 billion surplus. They say Democrats broke promises on Social Security. They wanted to see all of those benefits tax-free.
If we can't cut taxes now, when can we?
Caroline Cummings, WCCO 4 News.
This budget plan eats up most of that state surplus. It also includes a sales tax hike to fund transit in the 7-county metro. And there would be additional tax surcharges, people who make big profits off stock market investments. Well, these days, people change jobs at the drop of a hat, but not so for one octogenarian in Wisconsin. Rodney Esser, or otherwise known as Mr. Peanuts, loves his job and the Cross Plains community he has served for more than half a century. Mr. Peanuts still working the long 14-hour days and weekends, and whatever Park School needs, Mr. Peanuts provides.
I do a lot of the maintenance and repairs myself. I don't have to have somebody come out and do it for me.
If you ask Rodney Esser, he's 83 years young, and he has no plans on retiring anytime soon. If you were wondering how Esser got the nickname Mr. Peanuts, that's an old family nickname he received because when he was born, he was a very small baby.
Well, this morning we continue to watch the snow showers come down across portions of the area, mainly off to the north around Clark County, south into Jackson County, near the vicinity of Black River Falls, and also across portions of Houston County there in Wilmington, and as far south as Alameda County down in northeastern Iowa. So for today, more snow is in the forecast here today too, with temperatures again pretty mild at around 36 degrees. Our winds today out of the northeast at 5 to 10. For tonight, we drop down to 20. Still relatively mild here overnight with some snow showers possible and northwest winds at 10 to 15. So today, currently, our temperatures are into those mid to upper 20s. Winona right now at a current temperature of 30 degrees. Some of that snow causing some issues out there on the roadways, some partially covered roads, even some areas towards the west in Winona County, as portions of northern Houston County. Looking at some completely partially covered roads, and some spots travel is not even advised. But you can see on the DriveCast, looking at some of that snow here for the morning. We'll keep those snow showers in the forecast for your lunch hour too. Yellow lights will continue as we head into the evening hours too, with those chances of seeing some of that light snow fall. Again, we'll talk more about that in the full weather forecast coming up next in weather. Dua?
Well, coming up in our Buzz Report, the stars who will be performing at this year's Super Bowl. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Well, we continue to watch some of the snow come down in some spots around the Coulee region, more specifically to the north and portions of Clark County, even as far south there as Jackson County, right in the vicinity there of Black River Falls and along Highway 94, looking at some of that light snow as well as along US 12. A few light snow showers continue across portions of southeast Minnesota and down towards northeastern Iowa, right around southern Houston County, and also portions of northern and central Alameda County here too. Now, more snow is in the forecast here as well, as you can see on the daycast, with temperatures at 30 by noon today, 32 with some snow possible at around the 4 p.m. hour. And some of that may even continue as we head into the evening. And it's all thanks because a couple of things. We do have a cold front here to the north of us, also low pressure system back towards the south. These two systems are moving away from us, but we still could be looking at some lingering snow on the back side of these systems here as we progress throughout the day. We do expect all this snow to come to a close as we progress by around midday tomorrow as a surface ridge of high pressure begins to take shape. But here comes our next system now back to the west. This is an Alberta Clipper that is expected to give us our next best chance of snow as we head towards later this week. But let's time things out a little bit more locally. You can see that snow here moving around the area throughout much of the morning around that 9 o'clock hour. And then by the time we reach around 3 o'clock this afternoon, a lot of that snow here setting up back to the west of us. That snow is expected to make its way slowly towards the east as we progress throughout the day and also heading into this evening. By the time we reach around 2 o'clock overnight tonight, a couple of light snow flurries are still possible around the area before all of this comes to a close. By the time we reach 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, then we're just left over with mainly cloudy weather. By the time we reach tomorrow afternoon around 6 p.m., still cloudy and also very cold. Look at the temperatures dropping into those mid to upper teens. And as of right now in La Crosse, it is looking cloudy and also a few snowflakes you can see there from the tower cam. Visibility being dropped to 6 miles because of some of that light snow. The same can be said here in Eau Claire with some of those light flurries around 6 degrees, 6 mile visibility, I should say. Otherwise cloudy skies, temperatures at 29. Current temperature readings across the area mid to upper 20s. It is 30 degrees though, some of the warmest spots there for you in Winona. And your forecast high today should reach around 32 as well, by the way. But La Crosse looking pretty mild with a high of 36. Highs reaching 31 in Eau Claire today. And all across the area, really, those low to mid-30s can be said. But here's a check on your 8-day forecast, and we'll be looking at 28, mostly cloudy for tomorrow. We'll get a break in the snow before more snow moves in Friday and Saturday from that next system moving in from the northwest from Canada. And behind it, it's going to get very colder. High temperatures are going to drop into the teens for this weekend, and that will continue into next week as well. In fact, our low temperatures are even colder than that, dropping below 0 as we head into Sunday and then continue into much of the early part of next week.
2023 is shaping up to be another big year for actress Cheryl Lee Ralph. She just booked a new gig, and it's not for her acting skills. The NFL has chosen the Abbott Elementary star to perform Lift Every Voice and sing during the pregame show. And y'all, if you haven't seen Abbott Elementary, I highly, highly recommend it. The NFL also announced country music artist Chris Stapleton has been chosen to sing the national anthem, while R&B singer and producer Kenneth Babyface Edmonds will perform a rendition of America the Beautiful. The pop rock band Panic! At the Disco is breaking up after 19 years. On Tuesday, lead singer Brandon Urie, the band's only remaining original member, announced on social media the band's final show will be on March 10th in Manchester, England. Urie said he's bringing this chapter of his life to an end to focus on his family and that he will soon be a father for the first time. Panic! At the Disco got together in 2004 and currently includes Urie, Ryan Ross, Spencer Smith, and Brett Wilson. Well, we're heading to break with today's Look Who's 8.
Yeah, that's right, Duo. We got a lot of birthdays to celebrate today, so let's get right to it. Our first one today is Owen. Now, Owen is turning 8 months, and he loves to play with his big brother and his cousins.
Happy 8 months to Olivia. Olivia is a sweet and bubbly little girl. Oh my gosh, look at her smile. She, the definition of bubbly.
Oh yeah, definition of happiness. Look at that. Beautiful smile there, Olivia. Love the picture. All right, our next one is to Adeline, who is turning 8 today. Now, Adeline loves to make everyone laugh with her great humor and cares about everyone she knows.
Happy 8th birthday to Aubryn. She loves gymnastics, being outside, and being proud of everything she does. That confidence is fantastic. Aubryn, hold on to that.
Absolutely, and beautiful smile there too. We also have Carter today, who is turning 8. Carter loves to shoot pool, swim, and spend time with his grandparents.
Happy 80th to Roland. Roland loves traveling, especially on cool fall in Tennessee, Dollywood.
Very cool. We also have a 88th birthday to celebrate today. This is to Patricia. Patricia is an avid Packers, Brewers, Bucks, and Badgers fan, and she can barely believe she's turning 80. I see what she did there. No pun intended, right?
All right, well, if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and you want to look for the Submit Pictures button, which is under the Home tab on our website.
Well, stay with us. We have There's a new mental health resource for Hmong Wisconsinites. Hmong community members can use the Hmong Mental Health Warm Line to speak with Hmong peers. The line is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. The free available service is thanks to Wisconsin United Coalition of Mutual Assistance Association. If you're in need of help, you can call the number on your screen. La Crosse police are asking the public for help in finding a missing woman. Jennifer Peterson was last seen in La Crosse on September 27th. She is 5'5" with dyed blonde hair and glasses. Police are not sure what she was wearing when she went missing. Peterson has a history of relocating to different areas in Wisconsin and the country. If you have any information about Peterson's location, you can call the La Crosse PD at the number on the top of your screen. The man charged with imprisoning a woman in her La Crosse home had his bail reduced. His bond was reduced from $10,000 cash to a $10,000 signature bond. Last week, Cole J. Clark was charged in La Crosse County with felony kidnapping, false imprisonment, intimidating a victim by use of force, and bail jumping. He will be on house arrest in Lancaster. Judge Todd Berkey ordered Clark to stay out of La Crosse County while under house arrest, saying the court could take away any violations of his bond very seriously. Western Technical College is celebrating the opening of a new facility. This is the college's new Toma Medical Assistant classroom, and this space was remodeled to provide additional space for the school's new medical assistant program. Western leaders say having a class space in Monroe County will reduce the need for transportation so more people in rural areas won't have to travel to La Crosse for classes.
And as we take a look at your 8-day forecast heading out the door this morning, watch out for some more snow showers that could become possible this afternoon and also early this evening too. Our high temperatures pretty mild, 36 degrees. Tomorrow we get a break in the snow before more snow arrives again Friday and Saturday. And behind that system that's going to give us our next best chance of snow, it's going to get very cold. Highs drop into the teens and even lows below zero. That's Dewa's favorite weather too, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love the cold, you know me.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is exactly why I came here.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week.
Halfway through the week, 2 more days, and it's Friday.
Boom. We love the weekend.
Any plans?
This weekend, you know what? I think I'm gonna do some shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Treat
Can't
yourself.
go wrong with some shopping. Yeah,
No, treat yourself. What about you?
Yeah, probably watch a little football, but it's more so on Sunday. Hey, but I know you don't like football.
Oh boy. Not that I don't like football. I just, don't really care much for it. No.
There's a lot of viewers at home that I think watch football.
You know what? If everyone can,
playoffs.
if they can explain football to me, I'll watch it. Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with news of the day on news8000.com, and we'll have the latest updates on today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Have a great day.